join us Friday night. Whiskey round table, pour a dram or flight. Whiskey round table. Oh, Greg, Karen, and the Whiskey Wizard talking facts and tastings. They've got you covered. Whiskey round table. Oh.
Welcome to the Whiskey Roundtable. We are your hosts.
Oh, we're out of order. I'm usually over there. There we go.
Big G.
Karen Ellen Keller.
Doug Dunbar.
And I'm Cameron Dunbar.
All
Dunbar.
Woohoo!
So what's going on, kids?
Big
show.
Big show.
Big
Yes,
show
yes.
today, kids. Big show for sure.
Breaking out the full wizard regalia for
I
Look
see.
at you.
Yes.
I love it.
And if the whiskey's not up to my standards, I can take care of that.
And if
The
none,
magic wand.
if none of you have ever seen a transgender wizard, just so you know, I'm just kidding.
Does it still qualify as a wizard? I guess.
Absolutely. He's the man.
We'll get
Your
some
father's
comments,
the
I'm
man.
sure.
Trust me when I tell you.
So it's our big Halloween show.
We got a great crowd tonight.
It's
We do.
worthy of Karen's favorite holiday.
We have a big audience today.
And
And
great
good
show.
studio audience.
Even our
for
producer's here
witnessing.
today. What's up, producer?
Zachalicious.
Yeah, Zach.
Long time no see.
Zachalicious.
I know. It's been hard
He's
working
back
from
in the
home,
house. Back in the house.
calling us and keeping us busy during the week and the day of the show, making sure everything is right.
I work. I do some directing stuff. I work in film, and I can only imagine what a nightmare that would be trying to direct a show remotely. I worked on a show that was being directed remotely, and it was like if it wasn't hard enough to make a TV show,
Sure.
like when their director's not even on set, it's pretty hard.
It's like having a substitute teacher.
Yeah,
in class.
exactly. It's like,
I mean, it's funny because sometimes like we'll bring Zach in, before the show and stuff like that. That he's giving us direction, so to say. And it's one thing to have to deal with all of our bullshit, and it's another thing is why he's trying to bail us out of something. We just beat him up the entire time.
yeah,
He's
you're
very
really
patient
making
with
me
us.
want to
He's a
do this
patient
again.
There's a couple times where he was doing some personal stuff and for family and all this stuff, and we're just giving him hell the whole time. He's like, I wish I could shut up, you cop out, and giving him all kinds of crap, but he takes it well.
Does he?
Welcome back. Welcome back, brother. Be 6 more months before we see you?
What's that?
Be 6 more months before we see you?
Yeah, if I'm lucky.
If you're lucky.
Or if the checks don't clear.
He usually
Got
counts
some
us down and does all kinds of stuff, but when he's here, gives us our stuff, making sure everything is right. Running around here like a madman, but it's all good.
Almost like it's a real show.
All right.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Yeah.
So what do we got, kids? It's
I'm
Halloween.
there's a lot of people out here.
Oh,
There's
wow.
a lot
we do
of
have
people out here. It's funny. Lindsay says she's excited for the spooky show. Pat Patterson says hola to the Dunbar women.
Oh.
Hola.
Yes.
I guess you guys are out of the loop.
What does hola mean in Pittsburgh anyway? I'm just curious. Go ahead.
Sandwich.
It means the Steelers suck. Anyway.
Not this year, they don't.
Then we've got Jennifer Boggs. Hey, girl.
Jennifer.
We did some great shopping last weekend.
That's what I understand.
She says hey to everybody. Pat Patterson is kind of giving away a little bit of our great
Pat.
show tonight, but he said he's excited to hear Kayla sing tonight, so we've got that planned, which is going to be wonderful.
Glenn says Cameron looks like he's stepping right out of the Clint Eastwood Western. We think he looks a little bit
That's
like a rabbi. But
No.
He does.
No, Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood is the correct answer.
Dunbarstein.
Where's your gun? Where's your 6-shooter, son?
Dear.
Too
TSA
funny.
wouldn't let me
What
bring
else
it.
we got on there?
I'm looking. Or Jennifer Boggs asked if he's Mennonite.
there we go.
3 or 4 a night, I'm heard.
Tell him he's all Mennonite.
I just wrote that. I'm here all night. kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Lucky me.
Can't blame that one on the producer. Now.
Yeah, no.
We do love this
Thank
crazy
God he doesn't have
holiday,
a time,
though.
one of those
Yep.
time things, taking us out. Click. Didn't hear
Lots
that.
of lots of memories as we
Yes.
were kids, right?
Absolutely.
I do love it.
I believe that your favorite costume of mine was Metal Greymon.
Metal
Yeah,
Greymon,
was
yeah.
when I was a kid.
And I still feel like a kid at Halloween. But
We had
Anyway.
we had
Yeah.
the Halloween clam bake last week.
yeah, oh my gosh.
And that was a lot of fun. We had
great.
some great costumes. Fantastic
Yes.
costumes.
I thought you were going to say whiskeys. But
Well, we
yes,
did have some
yes.
great whiskeys as well.
Yes, we
So,
did. Yes,
Some things
we
are a
did.
given.
that's
So,
it.
yeah,
I don't know.
of
I don't know
course.
if I'm
We,
allowed to.
I dig pretty deep and brought out some of the.
Did you?
Yes, I did. So.
I don't know. Am I allowed
Yeah.
to talk about it or no?
Sure, go ahead.
I was gonna say
Absolutely.
that was the first time that I had the that old Fitzgerald, which I've wanted to try.
The
Yeah.
9 year and
Forever.
the 11 year.
And it was, oh man, that's
Yeah,
just
the
like
9/11.
that's
The
that's
9/11. Porsche owner.
I just remember seeing Cameron's eyes light up when
I
you
just-
brought that
He's like,
out.
can I take a picture of that?
Yeah.
Like what? No, you can't.
yeah. No,
But we
right,
had
no.
some great products
Yeah.
out last week.
Absolutely.
Yes, we did.
And we and everybody indulged, and we all had a great time. Nobody was stupid, and costumes were great. You know what killed me was as cold as it was. Now we had the garage. We used the garage, and then we had the
But it
20
was comfortable with the
It
heaters.
was. So I had the
yeah.
heater in the tent, and I had the heater in the
Yeah.
garage, and it was like 68 degrees in there.
Yeah, it's
And, but
perfect.
90% of everybody, because I was worried about people, because we had some older people. I won't say elderly. We had some. older
We
people.
are elderly.
I know we are. I pooped my pants.
Again?
Again.
It's going to be a
But,
long night.
But everybody sat out by the fire, and the fire was ablaze the entire
yeah.
time, and we had a good time. And then one of our friend's daughter decided she was going to leave, but she didn't realize that we had ditches here, so
no.
that was a whole mess. But we got her out. So, but it was a good time, man. It's a clam bake. It was a good time. We had a
a good time.
blast. And you know what? You know how you know you have a good party is when the last person leaves at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
I was gonna say, it's usually when you're like,
That's how you know it's a good
that
party.
was great. Everything we have a
Yeah.
great time, everybody.
Oh,
yeah.
nothing to see here. Move
Yeah.
along.
And you didn't
exactly.
fall asleep in the driveway.
I didn't
so,
fall
hey.
asleep.
You didn't have to pull the old host move of coming out there like,
I was good though.
wow, oh, man, what a-
shit! Look at the time.
wow, what a-
It's Thursday. Shit.
The last one to leave were the cops.
Really?
yeah.
We did have law enforcement here, by the way.
I'm sure.
But yeah, last
But
one
I-
to leave were the police. So, but we had a great time. Go ahead, Dougie. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say I love this holiday. I always feel like a kid, and I suppose I do still have some growing up to do.
I don't think we'll ever grow up.
Yeah, I know.
I'm good with that.
I was pondering that question the other day as I was sitting in my fort. But
Yeah.
Your Ford or your fort?
my
Fort.
fort.
Oh, okay. I,
Remember we used to have fort. Well, you probably didn't, but we all had forts.
I had
Yeah.
a fort. I had a fort way
That's
back
where we
in the
kissed
woods.
our first girlfriends.
What was his name?
I know you're 7.
Daddy.
Listen, Billy, settle down.
Not that there's anything wrong.
I know you're Catholic.
But yes, and we our daughter. So yeah, so I just clarify. Whenever I say like my daughter or my son,
I do that all the
I
time.
just everybody's aware. Just assume that also means Shauna's daughter. or
She did
Shauna.
have something to do with it, yeah.
I do it all the time. I say my house all the time. My house.
if
It's
you,
actually mine and Karen's house, but I would say my house.
Yeah,
You know.
as you'll hear on the Whiskey Wizard today, her reminding me. So,
Yes.
but my daughter Kayla is here, visiting from Nashville, and she's in the audience today. And we got something for you guys a little bit later, and she's going to help me out with that. So,
And Kayla
But-
does our intro song.
and of course, Kayla does the intro song, our intro theme for the Whiskey Roundtable, and she also does the closing song where we run the credits. So
Those royalty checks must be coming in.
Yeah, they are.
yeah, she's doing
It's a
pretty
penny
well
a
off
show.
the royalty checks from the Whiskey Roundtables. And should
So did the
Since-
kids like Halloween when they were younger?
they did like Halloween? In fact, let's show those pictures.
Oh,
So
no.
on the
There we
left
go.
is Cameron in his Batman outfit,
I wasn't aware that this was going to
Oh, you didn't see
and then
Before he found Judaism.
What are we drinking?
in the middle is Kayla. That's her first Halloween. She's got her little ghost outfit on.
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
With her little, I think it's like a
Was it a sheet with the ice cut out?
No, it's a little like onesie kind
It
of.
looks like she has a race car helmet on.
And then what? Her Halloween bag is like a farmhouse.
That's a
farmhouse, yeah.
Farmhouse, yeah.
Farmhouse, chicken coop or something.
Yeah. Chicken.
And then on the far right is my youngest daughter, Lindsay,
Right.
as a princess. Now I think most Halloweens she was a princess. In fact, probably still at Halloween.
Well, when I met her here a
princess.
couple weeks ago, I think she was a princess then, wasn't
Yeah.
she? I mean, that's kind of how I remember.
And
it.
she loves Disney, so it all fits. But
Perfect.
anyway,
Very cute. They take
Yeah.
after their mother, I see.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Look at Kayla's so embarrassed.
Well, I was just like, why am I holding a barn? It doesn't even go with my costume. It took me a second.
Well,
I was
I
like,
kind
wait,
of, I think
Well,
it was kind of you were destined to Tennessee.
like, where does that even come from?
Well, I'm sure
You know,
your mother had a lot to do with that. So.
Too funny.
Very cute.
What else we got?
Very
kids?
cute.
Well, I don't know.
What's our drink tonight, guys?
We have a perfect selection for the occasion.
Yes, we do.
Smokehead. And
know if you
I'm
can see
really
it,
looking
Blair.
forward to tasting this.
Gary,
But
would you do me a favor? Would you pick up that bottle
Smokehead bottle?
and take it over to the camera, and
Closest to you.
and then show.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Don't worry about that. Just leave it go.
There you go.
Smokehead. There it is.
Smokehead.
So tell us a little bit
Yeah,
about that.
I'm very
Dunbar.
curious because I've never even heard of this before.
Me neither.
well, Karen, are you gonna?
I have a
What's
little
up,
bit of
Charles?
info
Oh,
on
okay.
there. I can give you a little bit.
Okay.
It was hard to find it. Don't know who the actual distiller is on this, but
That's a secret.
Many
Nobody really knows.
Is it the same kind of thing as like Trader Joe's, or where it's or is it
Maybe,
like,
but the
This is
the
a $2
distiller
chocolate whiskey.
is.
well, no, but I mean, no,
I
don't
wish
get
it was.
yeah.
Actually, Trader Joe's. Well, I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever done an episode of Trader Joe's, but I'll have to actually see if I can get some because Trader Joe's has
So,
some pretty great
would you
whiskey.
like
have
to
some over
after?
there.
Okay, so listen.
Okay.
After talking to the
I know.
master.
I'm sorry. I just you can't buy
So
no
with
higher.
Greg, the
No,
question
you
is, how
can't.
many
Yeah.
bottles?
We
does
got
he
it
have?
in
So,
Massachusetts.
so I have a bottle of Trader Joe's Scotch, which is very good. Would you like to try it after the show?
I mean, I've probably had it, but
Probably and have it is two different things, son.
Yeah.
Some things you need to
I'd
be
be
sure
happy
of.
to have some.
The rabbi is.
Clint Eastwood.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Clint. I apologize.
Eastwood Steam.
Yeah.
Team Eastwood.
I should have brought a poncho. That would have really sold it.
Oh, I have.
Yeah, we
one
could
confuse
too.
people.
We could. Sorry.
Wow, we're having trouble staying on topic. But
Yeah, we are. So,
As if we didn't have enough to do.
So who's the distiller and what? Tell us
Right.
about
okay,
that.
so it does. The distiller is Ian McLeod, and this is a single malt Islay Scotch whiskey, and they say it's an assault on your senses, and it's Smokehead is for those who smoke tradition and dodge the drab.
All right.
It's an award-winning whiskey that's as bold in taste as it is in attitude, so it's right up your alley there, Greg. Here's some more for you. If you refuse to conform to the rules of normal whiskey drinking and you're seeking out something more uncommon, then here's where that pig-headed inquisitiveness...
Why do you have to bring my mother into every show? Why is that? Hang on a second. Sorry, Mom. Sorry. Go ahead.
Stoke the fire.
Stoke the fire, Donna. It's getting cold up here, you know what I'm saying, girl? Go ahead. What you got? Y'all haven't met my mother. You can sit there and have your own opinion. Go ahead. The audience is all sleeping now with their eyes wide open, but listen.
She looks just like Greg, but she has a mustache.
And a patch over her eye, but we don't talk about that. We pretend like it never happened. But
Is
anyway.
Greg in a wig?
Exactly. Okay, anyway, back to Smokehead. So there are other kinds of Smokeheads. So I actually had to go online and find this, and it was shipped from England.
Holy cow.
So it's not readily available.
Get
It
it
was
too
shipped from
easily.
England. It
Yeah.
really was.
But Mr. Dunbar, the wizard himself, is the one that told us about it. And actually, the one that we wanted to try to get was the Rum Rebel. I think you
Yeah,
said.
Smokehead Rum Rebel. But who knows? It might be in my future.
To the Rebel.
It
could
might
the,
be. It
the
might
Rim
be.
Ringer or something. Anyway, go ahead.
So I was on Smokehead's website, and they do have, several variations of their Smokehead. So they range. This one is an 86 proof, but they range from an 80 proof up to 116 proof.
You know we got.
That's got to be
We got to
terrible.
Now, can you
That's-
imagine a 116 proof Islay?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's got to be.
That's a man's whiskey.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
got to be cask strength.
I think you know what we should do. We should order the rest of them in.
If they ship here, if I can find someone that ships them out, we'll ship them.
It is an unfortunate challenge.
Oh, we
got
got
it.
I'll
We
pay
did
you
it.
$100.
Karen gave me the,
We
the
did it.
link to the, and it wasn't as expensive as
The
you might
the,
think.
the first bottle that we found was $100 and some shipping.
Yeah.
We're like, I can't do that. But,
I don't know.
But Karen found it.
There
for a lot
are
less.
definitely whiskeys where I would pay that.
Right, I agree.
Not think.
I mean,
twice.
that's just for shipping.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but totally. It's cheaper than a plane ticket.
Amen.
So nobody
go.
really knows what distillery on Islay this comes from, but since it is a single malt, of course, that means it did come from a single distillery, and so Ian MacLeod Distillers have an arrangement, obviously, with one of the 12 distilleries on Islay. So it might be one of those Ardbeg, but I'm not really exactly sure. Nobody really is 100%. So.
And I was out here looking before to see what other brands that they were part or that they sold, and I didn't recognize any of them. So,
I mean, it might be like UK only kind of stuff.
So what do you got there?
what do I have where?
Oh, I
Here?
thought you were going to pull up the other
Yeah,
bottles.
that's what I was trying to find, but I'm having some, okay, so they've got MacLeod's, Sheep Dip, the Six Isles, Black Shield, Clan MacLeod, Glenshire, Marshall's, Maxwell, Pig's Nose.
I like that already.
Well, there's only so many distilleries in Scotland, so
But there
Well,
are
there's
a lot.
quite a lot, but
Yeah.
there's only about 12, I think 12 or maybe 13 on Islay, which is kind of my epicenter of the whiskey world. And so we'll have to take a trip there someday and do
Okay.
a live show from Islay.
All right. That's all you had to say, Negro.
Get the suitcase.
With the suitcase.
Okay.
All right, so
So that's what I got on this.
Well-
I don't know if we're ready to dig in or.
We are.
I'm
So
very excited.
So Cameron, could you grab those 2 glasses for you and your father? And Gary, could you pass these 3 glasses down here?
I
Or 2
hate sitting
glasses?
here. I gotta do all this work.
I know you're exhausted.
I can sit over there and do next to nothing.
Thank you, sir.
Like normal?
Yes.
okay.
Ooh.
That's yours.
Ooh.
See?
Here, don't mix them.
So
up.
I gotta cleanse a palate because I've been drinking a Jack Daniel's single barrel banana bomb.
Which was fantastic,
Mhm.
by the way. Thank you for bringing that.
But I got to switch gears here for a nice smoky Islay Halloween whiskey.
How was your cigar, Cameron?
Do you guys
that's
have any of
excellent.
this?
Excellent.
Zach,
Do you
you're
guys-
actually part of the scoring tonight, so you need to have some. So let's make
Get your glass, Playboy.
Zach should have.
Need to
Marion,
double
you
down.
want some?
Why don't you, Zach? Why don't you grab that bottle if you don't mind?
Wow, it's actually.
Absolutely.
All right.
We put a mark there. We know how much.
Don't,
Oh, you
uh,
saw the producer's hand.
Forgive me for already nosing, but I just couldn't
All
resist.
right.
Oops.
You and that daggone nose.
Need a refill?
Ooh.
No. I just.
Little bit
I was
more
like
than
already
nose.
digging in. I'll take it slow.
It's, wow.
Pass that on. Pass that on.
It's definitely a scotch
Definitely is a scotch for sure.
on the nose.
Nice.
This little chart on the back wasn't lying.
I get earth. Like,
Very earthy.
Definitely earthy.
Not as much smoke as the name
No.
would suggest.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was afraid to say it, but I
So,
was like, it's
on the-
not as smoky as
But
I would.
it's
Like
a-
if I compared it to a Lagavulin
Right.
or yeah.
I mean, you get that peat, but you also get that pleasant light smoke in it.
It's definitely got the phenol, typical phenol kind of thing.
Do we know anything?
It's not as briny as a lot of
right,
Islas.
right. Yeah, it's actually it's strange, and I haven't tasted it yet, but it actually smells more tame than like what I would normally think of in Islas.
Nice.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just the Islas I drink, but I'm actually surprised. I was expecting, not that it's bad, it actually smells nice. It's
I don't
kinda-
want to offend it,
I
man,
get
but
some-
it kind of reminds me of the 15-year Macallan on the nose.
A little bit, yeah, I totally would.
I definitely get the wood
like
and,
wood and-
It's heavy.
getting a little
It's
bit
heavy.
of citrus.
It's heavy.
Yeah, definitely.
Certainly there's some peat there
Mm-hmm.
that gets my attention. Like I said, the feel.
Yeah, it's a
And
little-
different.
It's pretty oily.
What do you think
Yeah.
there, Zach?
Nothing.
What do you got, Zach? What do you got?
What
to
did we
say?
do?
That nose is different. I'll say
Yeah.
that much.
It's what I would think of a Scotch is medicinal, a little bit.
The nose has some medicinal to it, yeah. But I do get some sweet oaky tones underneath, so a little bit of vanilla with it, like I typically get on most Islas. Again, bourbon cask
Yeah.
first fill,
Yeah.
so you're going to pick up some vanilla almost always with an Isla.
I was just going to ask if we know what it was aged in, because I was going to guess.
I do
Yeah,
not.
almost all Islas are, because you don't typically finish an Isla in an export or sherry cask.
Well,
'cause the flavors don't.
Sometimes.
Well, maybe, but generally they don't play well together in my experience. But I guess that one
The
we were
Sine,
talking about,
yeah. I don't know if that's been on the show, but yeah, that's one that I really like. It's actually like it's the Kilchoman Sine. It's an Islay single malt Scotch, completely finished in sherry from A to B.
Huh.
Or
Which-
aged in sherry, not finished, aged in sherry, and it's fantastic.
It is,
It's
and
really good.
it's a very manly whiskey too.
It's
What are you laughing
I'm
at?
laughing at Mary, and she's smelling it, and she's going like that. Just her face.
It's like, dirty diaper.
It definitely, and Karen, I think it maybe even has a little bit of that Islay single malt Band-Aid smell.
That's yeah. Well, and I was trying to be nice
That-
by saying medicinal. I didn't want to just come
Yeah.
right out and say Band-Aids, but yeah.
Okay, well,
Give us the nose, girl. Give us the
Yeah,
nose.
Okay, so what I found on the nose, it says the aroma
What
is
nose?
the aroma is something powerful and fiery,
Okay.
thick, heavy wood smoke. Don't get that.
Don't get any of that.
Rich, earthy peat.
Get that.
get that.
Extremes of spice and sweetness.
Okay, get that.
Then it says fresh lemon, zesty ginger, and rich plum jam.
plum. I actually definitely get a little.
Do you?
I got a little
I do.
citrus. I told you that
Yeah.
right,
And
off,
the citrus, it's like
right off the front end. But
I don't get that.
I
at all.
couldn't
get
recognize
any
it by
fruit.
smell,
Yeah,
but
I
when
know.
she said plum, I was like, yeah.
I would've
I'm
said-
wondering.
I
I'm
would've
wondering
said
if my
raisin,
cigar
but-
is perhaps interfering with my
Well.
smoky pickups, but
Could be.
Cleanse your palate, man.
Now, when I think of plum, I think of Ziggy Zaggy, which is
Hoi, hoi, hoi.
Schlivo.
Oh.
yeah,
So now that I read plum and I'm going in on it, I can't get any. I still can't get any.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
neither. Me neither. All right, so
that's me.
Well-
should we give it a taste, kids? or what?
Yeah, I'm tired
let's
of
taste
sniffing
this
it.
bad boy.
1, 2, 3. Zigga zaka,
Zigga
zigga
zaka,
zaka, hoi, hoi, hoi.
Oh, there's that smoke we're talking
yeah,
about.
there it is.
A
Yeah.
lot of smoke.
Okay,
Oh,
I
yeah.
have to say that I like the palate a lot better than I did the nose.
Yeah, I
Yes.
completely agree. Yeah,
It's very smooth at first.
it is.
It's, you get
really
the spice
smooth.
out of it. You get the
You
spice.
get some
out.
spice.
But it's not heavy. It's not.
Much
No.
more caramel, vanilla,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
maybe some apples, and then of course a good hefty amount of smoke.
Definitely.
But it's a different smoke than like an Ardbeg or a
Oh, yeah.
Lagavulin,
Right.
where you kind of get the peat explosion first and then the smoke.
I get
This I just kind of get a little bit of campfire.
my aftertaste is pure honey.
Really?
There is a lot of sweetness in
It's
it.
a yeah.
Surprisingly, I wasn't expecting that much sweetness in it. But it's in a good way. It's not a cloying sweetness. It's just a soft, little bit of a vanilla caramel kind of.
It's the kind of sweetness you don't normally get from an Islay.
Right.
You
Right.
normally don't
Yeah.
get that kind of subtlety. You know what I mean? Islays usually I've had some Islas that have a bit of sweetness to them, but it's not that kind of subtle. Like it's the kind of subtle sweetness I personally would more associate with the Highland.
And I think most of that, interestingly, comes in the finish. The sweet.
I get the
Which
very
is different.
The very last thing I tasted was like a, and I don't mean to use this as an example, but if you've ever had the cough drops, the honey cough drops, what was the big
Ricola?
Ricola.
Gluten.
Yeah, gluten's whatever. I mean, I don't get that menthol, but I definitely get the honey. I get that honey flavor. I really do. The very last thing I tasted.
It's very smoky to me.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
it is.
But it's good. It's good.
But it's
smoke.
kind of
I love it.
it's kind of nice because it's all the smoke up front, and then it just gives way to
It's got a great aftertaste.
really smooth
Really
palate.
is.
Like, I love Islas, and what I actually think I like most about this is how drinkable it is.
It
It's
is
like I
very
could just easily sit there and drink half that bottle.
And if
You know what I mean?
If
It's
I
like-
smoke cigars, I think it would go perfect.
Oh.
You should try. You should try. One of these days.
It's different.
I will say, we talk a lot about your palate changes as you try different whiskeys, and day one of drinking a Scotch, I would have put this to the side and said, not me, but I really enjoy this. I'm very surprised
Well, it was one of my missions when I came on this show. Was
to make me a Scotch
to
drinker.
convert you over time.
Infiltrate
Well,
the
it might-
bourbon. and-
Greg's like, thanks, something else she's going to take.
In my opinion, I think it's a great after dinner drink for sure.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
actually, it's.
If you want to finish out the night, this is what you're drinking.
Could you imagine that with like a creme brulee
Oh,
or
yeah,
something? How
absolutely.
good that would be
It would be fantastic.
with the
I
sweet
think it would.
notes
I
and
think
the
it would
smoke.
work with a dessert.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean,
And we have an upcoming Whiskey Wizard on food and whiskey pairings.
Okay.
So that'll fit right in.
I definitely think it's living up to its claim of being very different.
Yes.
Because I don't
Yes.
think I've ever had an Isla that tasted like this.
Now, when you
Very good.
see the bottle, and of course that's why it seemed to fit on the Halloween show, but it you think it's going to be this overpowering,
Right.
kill you, knock you over kind of whiskey.
With
but
the skull and
it's surprisingly subtle, rich. A lot of soft, lot of soft complexity to it.
I do get the sweetness
Yeah.
out of it, and very smooth at the beginning. And
So what's it say for the palate?
taste an explosion of breathtaking peppery, peaty heat, soothed by honeyed sweetness before the smoke comes to the fore again. And then the finish, exotic spices with the curious citrus tang of mandarin, lulling you into a false sense of calm as the peat roars back to hit your senses again.
Okay.
I think
Did
it's
you
a
catch
great-
it? Did you get any mandarin?
I got no mandarin
Me neither.
in this.
Hold up your glass. Try it now.
Where's that stick bin, huh?
Try it now.
Oh shit!
What were you guys doing upstairs alone before?
We were tuning up your new broom.
Oh, it's a bit nutty. No, just
Jennifer, not skins. No.
Karen, where'd you get that passage from?
it's a bit nutty.
No, where you were reading about the palate.
I got it straight
Was
from
it from these
Smokehead.
guys?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
wondering. 'Cause I couldn't tell if you were describing the
I'm
palate
gonna-
or
I'm
reading
gonna
like a
say- I'm gonna
romance
ask you-
novel.
I'm gonna ask you to
That's
give
how
me
you
a
know.
little-
That's how you know it's from the manufacturer when you're like,
It will take your
yeah,
breath
yeah,
away.
exactly, yeah.
It's like a York
Can
peppermint.
you
ale.
Right,
give me a little more
right.
taste of that, please?
It's
Yeah, you
it's
know, a
flavor
second
text.
opinion might be in
right?
order here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I,
It's actually it's very.
I would.
It's
I
really
really
good.
like it.
I
It's
would
funny-
like a little bit more to get me.
Would you like a
carry me
paper
through
bag
this
with
show.
that, Wizard?
Yes.
I'll have a little bit more. So now
I need
that
a paper bag.
Now that you
Great, I
guys-
got no
anxiety
idea on
attack.
this.
So, Doug, you're the Scotch expert here. So now that you've tried it, I'm going to ask you, put you on the spot here.
Oh.
Which distillery do you think has a hand in this?
Well, he talked about that earlier, but go ahead.
No, now that he's tried it.
I did say Ardbeg. I know others have said that, and obviously I hadn't tried it. I really don't think it's Ardbeg based on what I'm tasting here.
It seems
It's It seems.
Okay, all right, okay.
Oh,
Your own flesh and
oh,
blood.
sorry. I don't know. It might be.
I know Gary mentioned Macallan before on the nose.
Well,
No, it's on an
no,
island.
No,
it's not
the
an
nose is
island.
made to be there, yeah.
So,
No.
yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I don't know. Well, I won't.
You guys better tread lightly. They probably work hard at keeping that a secret, and
Well,
yeah,
let's just
well,
guess right.
No,
You might-
anything I did would be solely a
you might get
guess,
Epstein
but,
next week
I
or
mean,
something.
Well, apparently it's really not that good.
Yeah, we did
Well, it's
pretty
it's
good
those
for that one,
it's those 700 milliliter bottles. They're deceptive.
Yeah, I know.
There you go.
But
Very good.
honestly, I don't. I mean,
If you were to guess.
So, I was thinking Lafroy.
I-
Ardbeg, I'm going to stick with Ardbeg.
Lafroy was exactly what I was
Yeah.
from
So-
start to finish. It was Lafroy to me. That's
See,
how-
Lafroy has a lot of vanilla character to
but
it.
at the upper years, this drinks like an upper year Lafroy to me. That's just my. I didn't want to say it, but I'm going to say it since you brought it up.
so my thing with that is that I think originally I was talking about how I feel like this is so much sweeter and smoother than most whiskeys. And when I think of Lafroy, I usually think of like the classic, the 10-year, where it's really smoky. Like I think that on the nose would just blow this out of the water. But if you've had some of their sweeter offerings, I'm sympathetic. Actually, I think it's softer than some of the Lafroigs, but I think of like the Lafroy Cargis and stuff that we've
Yes.
had before, and that does really dip into those sweet notes, and that makes me think.
I think personally, it drinks like a Lafroy 10-year cast strength. That's how it tastes to me.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of Old Crow.
Oh shit!
Oh, no, you
shit,
didn't.
son.
Oh boy! All right, and you're talking about people getting
Okay.
Epstein. Don't wonder.
Okay,
Right.
so I'm curious. I'm gonna start the rating. I'm
you
gonna
should
ask for
last.
some
Oh,
ratings here.
I think
Oh,
you should,
no.
you should go last with your rating.
I'm gonna
'Cause you can
I'm gonna
influence the
throw
rest
it
of the
out.
table.
I'm gonna have
Are you going first, son?
I'm gonna have Zach go first.
Zach
We're doing out of 5, right?
Yeah.
Zach attack.
4. No, 5. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Now I'm gonna do something stupid because I have to say this is probably one of my new favorite Islas.
All right.
All right.
Wow.
That honey sweetness and the spice on it,
Yeah.
it's very complex, but it's not too in your face.
Right.
I'm gonna go with a 4.8.
Wow.
I'm gonna do something stupid.
Coming in with
Nice. Now, peppery,
Our producer is stupid, but
you
he
do
knows
get
his
the black pepper.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I'm really.
that's yeah, great. Because when you just nose that, I don't think you had a great impression just off the nose, or did I misread what you were?
No, I mean the
Yeah.
nose.
No, that was Marion.
Yeah.
She was going for the baby diaper thing.
I got a lot of plum off the
Yeah,
nose, to be
yeah.
honest. Like I was getting like a really like rich, deep malt. I think is where that plum was coming from, and I mean the sweetness didn't shine through at all in the nose, but it's
Yeah.
all there in the
Yeah.
body.
How about you, Gary? No, I know you're not you're
No,
just
yeah, I'm
coming
probably
into
the
being a
least
Scotch guy,
knowledgeable
but
Scotch voice at this table. But I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, I kind of compared to when we did Jim Beam Ghost a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
How we said how different that was than
Surprising,
every other white
sure.
dog.
yeah.
Because you tend to lump them all together, and these guys really went out of their way to be different. Same thing here. I think these guys really went out of their way to be completely different than what you'd expect from a Scotch like that. And so it's hard to grade because, like when we were doing the Ghost, everybody gave it a low grade because they were comparing it to the
Regular
the
white
bourbons
dogs
that
above
we
the,
had.
exactly. I agree.
So, I'll give it a good 4.4.
Nice.
I liked it a lot.
Wow, there you go. That's something.
This is gonna.
Nice.
He said he'd have it with
Gather
a creme
up
brulee.
very-
I'd have
Yeah.
it with a jug of Ruggles.
Okay, well,
Since we're going with guests, Cameron.
Cameron, what do you?
Oh
we're gonna
boy.
Go with you
I'm
now.
on so yeah, no, I was just thinking about this. My favorite, hands down, my favorite thing about it is how different it is. It's really not like your typical Islay, which is really
Yeah. So
cool.
trying to guess who the.
That's what I.
There's
That's,
only 13 distilleries. Trying to guess which one is responsible for this is really hard because it really isn't
No.
like anything I've
The
ever.
question is, are they really responsible, or is it just sort of like the stuff that Buffalo Trace does, where they have these guest distillers come in and just use their facilities, but it's totally divorced?
No, I don't know. Well, I mean, it's possible. It's a single
I don't-
malt,
I
so
don't
it comes from one distillery.
Right.
It's a
But
good
they
angle.
could have done it that way, but
Because it's
I
just
just
so
can't
different.
see Ardbeg or somebody turning over their distillery to somebody else.
Well,
Like,
not
no,
the
never
whole
know,
distil-
man.
not the
You
whole
never know.
distillery, but I
don't know.
Well, but
distillers,
to turn over production to somebody
I could
else.
see it being some little off-the-grid private distiller that.
we just
you
don't know really.
Maybe-
I mean, it is
maybe
UK
maybe they have an
only,
exclusive
so
deal
it's
and-
possible.
There's
But anyway,
there's only 12 there. So I think that yeah. Any of that's. So what do you got? What do you
so
think?
anyway, so I'm gonna probably come in on the low side, but I'm gonna I'd give it like a 4.2 maybe.
That's
I
great
really
score.
like it. I mean, it is really, really good, and I would highly recommend it. But it's just like to get past that 4.5, it's really got to be something that I'm
I
like.
mean, for the price, you're rated even higher.
Well, I don't know what the price is. That's the other thing.
40
For
bucks,
the
isn't it?
price, that would have an impact.
I don't know what
It was
that
like $38 or something.
No, well, I don't remember.
Well,
what it was.
it's hard because we
'Cause-
got it from overseas.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
it's-
it was honestly like $110 delivered with delivery and everything.
That's not actually not bad.
So I
No.
think
don't think
it's
so.
That's
I
not
think
bad
its
at all,
retail
'cause-
was equivalent of about $70 US.
right,
or something.
right, which is probably
So
But anyway, so yeah, I'd say I'm gonna say 4.2. My favorite thing about it again is how different it is, and that's still a pretty high score. So
yeah, it is.
yeah, oh yeah.
It's a great
so I
score.
think that
For the
that's,
Whiskey
think
Roundtable, that's upper echelon territory. Big G, what do you think?
I'm
Get a
going
first
with
class.
Gary.
Going with Gary at a
4.4.
4.4. Wow.
And I'm not a Scotch guy.
We're
so.
big
My
fans here on the show. So, Karen.
So, I'm going to go with Cameron, and I'm going to say 4.2, which is a high score for me, considering it's got that peaty flavor
hold
to
on.
it. But there's just something about it that it tames the peatiness down, and it's just so different. It is so different.
Yeah. So it's
up to
so
you
far it's got a lot of high scores. So
All the peat.
It's
yeah,
really good. I
so
mean,
like Cameron, Islay is my whiskey epicenter, and so when I noticed it, I was a little bit like, oh, maybe this isn't going to be that good. I wasn't getting what I got on the palate, which was a nice explosion of some smoke, and then everything faded into a whole medley of different kinds of soft caramel flavors, pepper, spice, some citrus, and it was just it's very pleasant.
it is pleasant.
It's just a really nice dram, something I could relax with and just
yeah.
we always say
enjoy some.
nose and palate are
Yeah.
always different.
Right.
Always.
Not
different.
always, but often. And I would say this is particularly
Deceptive.
There's a big
It is.
divergence
I agree.
between what you
I agree.
nose with it and what it gives you on the palate. Be interesting to think about why that might be. But anyway, I'm with you guys. I'm in the same ballpark. I don't think I'm as high as all of you. I'm just going to slide in beneath Cameron at 4.1, which for me, for an Islay, that's a pretty good score. So
Yeah, I think they'll be happy with it.
yeah, that's gonna bring this one in at pretty high average for the show, and
Yeah, absolutely.
put it in the
I
upper,
just-
upper
nobody gave it
echelon for the Whiskey Roundtable. So
I just got a text from my brother in Texas, and he felt that it may be a Lagavulin. How do you say it?
Lagavulin?
Lagavulin Islay Malt Scotch whiskey doubled matured.
Well, it's not like
So-
any Lagavulin that I've had so far.
It's
So
their distiller's
not that I'm
edition.
saying I've had everything.
Right.
and,
I mean, we have some here, but I don't
Yeah.
have that product that he's talking about.
It just doesn't have that bold kind of. There's a lot of
You generally-
charcoal
yeah.
and charcoal kind of smoke in a Lagavulin. That I
really
like campfire. I don't quite get that here. This is much softer.
which is my favorite thing about it. Frankly, is that
And the
I
other
love
thing
it.
a Lagavulin has is a lot of that kind of briny oceanic quality. This doesn't quite pull in that much. So I'm really, I gotta ponder, like.
See, the thing is, it's so hard because it's like it's not like any Islay. I can't compare it to anything. Like,
So
it's
it makes me
hard.
wonder, like whoever
Yeah.
whoever is producing
I'm not a big.
it,
I'm not
they're
huge
doing
on
something
Scotch.
different
I'm
than-
trying, but I just
So, Shauna, you commented out here. You're not a big Scotch drinker either. What do you think?
I actually liked it. It was nothing like the taste and the nose were really different. And I'm not a big peat person at all. Like if it's too smoky, I don't really care for it. But the way the smoke is kind of subtle,
Yeah.
and then it gets really flavorful, and then the smoke comes back. It's complex.
Yeah.
Yeah, complex
So the
is a
smoke-
great word. Yes.
The smoke kind of quickly melds into a lot of softer flavors, some fruit, some caramel, some vanilla, things like that. So there's definitely some pepper in there.
She gets the prize for Halloween. The rest of the bottle and popcorn. But anyway, yeah.
She loves Greg's popcorn. So.
Oh
gone.
shit, son! You ain't playing over there.
Is it gone?
Zach,
gone.
Zach,
Zach
Zach
likes it
number
too,
2. Did you
apparently.
eat all that popcorn?
Some of it, yeah.
Zach is KK's boyfriend. We have to.
Zach's visiting here with Kayla from
Hey,
Tennessee.
Came from Tennessee.
He's
exactly.
born and
Cameron
raised
is
in Tennessee, and he
great enough
lives
to fly in from California.
not too far from Lynchburg. where He
Ah.
grew up not too far
Watch
from
out,
there.
you might get lynched, son.
So he's been there many times, and we're going to pay it a visit,
Absolutely.
Look out, we're coming down.
especially after
I
having
don't know
more
where you
of
guys
these
are sleeping. But I know
single
where I'm
Jack
sleeping.
Daniel's single barrel products, which I
One of the people that work there
is very
actually
impressed with.
building
So.
some brewery down there.
Awesome.
For new liquor.
Really?
So he's going to be releasing it next year.
Well,
he's
just
on the way to Murfreesboro.
tell him to give us a shout.
Yeah, I like beer.
What?
Zach's not a whiskey drinker, but he's a whiskey collector, which is interesting. So he's definitely probably enjoyed looking at some of what G has here.
Well, we'd be happy to come down and drink your collection.
Yeah.
Just
We'll do
Name the
a
date. We'll be
remote,
there, man.
remote episode.
I'll bring a whole
First
entourage.
Have liver, we'll travel.
Every once in a while, I get a text and it's a photograph. Do you want this?
So Miss
How bad
Karen,
do you want it? But no, that's cool.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Everybody got their vote in?
I think so.
everybody's
voting?
voted.
Yeah.
I
Tally it
didn't
up.
even hear that. Where was I?
I was
I
at
don't know.
4.1.
I
Keep
was
it right
with
below us.
Cameron
Yeah, you said
at
you were
4-2.
you were 4-4.
Listen, it's been a long effing week for me. Trust me when I tell you.
The Wizards gave it the lowest grade, but talked it up the most.
I know you did.
Well, no,
you
because
know,
I have to put it like a 4.9 would be my favorite whiskey of all time.
Pretty much.
Colilla 18. So
Ah,
That
you
sounds
know,
good.
which is my Islay whiskey. Desert Island, if I could only take one, that's the one I would have. But
do you have that at home?
yes, I do. I have one bottle that I
I'll bring
got
that
at the
next.
distillery.
Bring that next week. No, I'm just kidding.
Bring that down to Tennessee with us.
We're gonna find another bottle, and then so we can do it on the show. So that's my
Well,
goal.
if you send me the information in the pictures, I will hunt it for you.
Okay, I'll get you that information, and we'll do it.
I know. There's information. Right. So,
I don't doubt that Greg could come up with a bottle somehow. So.
amen. All right,
Okay,
what do we
well,
got?
so we're doing things a little bit different to round out the show. We're going to do a special Whiskey Wizard for the Halloween show. And then immediately following that, we have a live performance of where Kayla is going to sing one of her original songs called Demons, which certainly fits for the holiday, and I'll be accompanying her. So after we come out of the Whiskey Wizard, we'll be doing that to end the show. And so I hope you all enjoy it. And I don't know, anything we want to leave the folks with?
Nope.
Any other news? We're not
Nope.
we're not doing a show next week.
Yeah, we're off next
Yeah,
week.
we're off next week, kids.
And it is November, so it is my Wild Turkey month. Woo-hoo!
Yes. So when we come back, we'll be celebrating Wild Turkey Month with you all. So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page if you
Like
haven't
us.
already.
Make sure you like us.
Like us. Follow us on Facebook. If you
Make
haven't-
sure you click the little bell so you get notifications.
The
as well.
subscribe.
Get subscribe and make sure you get the notifications. If you have any questions or comments, or you want to be a guest on the show, you can comment on Facebook or email us at thewhiskeyroundtable@gmail.com. Before we go to the Whiskey Wizard, I'll do my closing quote now.
Could you please?
Yes, this comes also from Tug McGraw. We've had one of his before. He said, "I'm a simple man. All I want is enough sleep for 2 normal men, enough women for 3, and enough whiskey for 4." Okay.
Amen.
So there we go.
All
All right. Well,
let's
hope you
move on.
enjoy the special Halloween Whiskey Wizard and the live song we're going to rush and get ready to do.
The
So,
Whiskey
All right,
Roundtable
hang tight.
Unplugged.
yeah.
Unplugged.
Whiskey
Unplugged.
Roundtable Unplugged. There
Unplugged.
you go.
There you go.
With
All
my
right.
daughter Kayla doing her original song, Demons. We'll see you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit. Hang tight.
Whiskey Wizard. It's the Whiskey Wizard.
Hello and welcome to the Whiskey Wizard, where we say that whiskey making takes scientific knowledge, an artisan's skill and dedication, and a bit of the wizard's alchemy of light, air, earth, and fire. Tonight we have something special to go along with the Whiskey Roundtable Halloween special. Look, this is a great time of year. Halloween has its own crazy vibe, but it opens the door to the holidays and the latter part of the calendar year. Halloween has its origins as a pagan event related to the harvest, celebrating the past summer's bounty. It's born of the time where the fall colors have bloomed and are now fading into the annual dying, and the pending darkness of winter approaches, where we'll need to appease the evil spirits as we wait until the coming spring brings forth life and renewal. It's a great time to seek the macabre thrills and embrace the scary, and I suppose to be reminded of our mortality, perhaps so that we can more fully focus on getting the most joy out of the present. Anyway, so I got some help on this special episode from my son Cameron and his girlfriend Lauren Slater. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to them. Enjoy.
Can you retake that and say our son, Cameron? He's not just yours.
This scariest of months, on this scariest of years, All Hallows Eve approaches. This Halloween will have a full moon, and some say that the spirits of this world and the spirits of the next will come closer than ever before.
And here on the Whiskey Roundtable, we know a thing or two about spirits. It may not surprise you to know that whiskey and the supernatural have a long and storied history.
Around the world, people have been getting drunk and telling scary stories for generations.
From evading the tax man to spooking a couple of your friends, whiskey's got you covered. We're going to share with you a couple of our favorite stories.
So my favorite story to tell tonight is the story of the Highlander and the Devil.
What is that one about?
It's got everything. I absolutely love it. It's got a Highlander, the Devil. It's got whiskey saving the day at the end of the story. It's even got a plague, which makes it very appropriate for this moment.
Yeah, it sounds very topical.
Yeah, I'm very excited. So, it begins in the town of Wigtown. Tom Campbell has had a very hard day of work, and his day at work has been much harder than usual because he's one of only a few able-bodied men in the town who's still able to go to work. Everybody else is laid up with the plague, sick and tired, and so on his way home from work, he goes to buy the best whiskey he can afford at the tavern.
What prompts him to buy the whiskey?
I mean, what prompts you to buy whiskey? That he wants to get the best whiskey he can get because he's afraid he's going to be shut up in his house for a while because of the disease that's ravaging the town. He has a couple of drams at the bar, and then he tucks the whiskey into his bag and starts going home, but not before getting a little bit drunk and yelling to everybody who can hear him, "The plague is the devil's work right enough, but it'll not get the better of me." Predictably, On his way home, the devil appears, says, "I hear you've been having a laugh at my expense, and now is the time to pay for it." And Tom just casually, "Oh, it's you! I thought you'd be bigger. Here, have a drink," and hands over the bottle of whiskey that he's just bought. Apparently, whatever they had to drink in hell, it was nowhere near as good as this bottle that Tom had bought, because the devil takes a sip, pauses for a second, and then drinks half the bottle all in one gulp before Tom can even say anything. The devil then turns to Tom and says, "Okay, name your terms. What are you gonna try to fight for?" And predictably, Tom says, "If I win, you will take your plague and go away and never come back to the town." Now, when the battle begins, Tom can sense that while he's gained some strength from the whiskey he's been drinking, it seems to be having a bit more of an effect on the devil. Whether that's because he drank so much so quickly, or because he's not used to the good spirits they have here.
Probably only drinks blends.
Tom is eventually able to throw the devil down on the ground and pin him, and the devil disappears in a puff of brimstone smoke and curses. And Tom, who, by the way, he's been drinking all night and fighting all night, is really tired. He just barely staggers home, and he gets home in the wee hours of the morning. His wife has been looking for him all night, and she says, "It's been a double boon this morning." He's confused for a second. "Glad you're happy to see I'm home, but what else happened? The plague's lifted, everybody's cured." And Tom tries to tell everybody what happened, but nobody believes him because he's too drunk.
That's the story of the Highlander, the man who bested the devil with whiskey.
Yes. Tom Campbell of Wigtown.
So tonight we're drinking the JURA Superstition, as a matter of fact, which is aptly named. And Lauren, as I understand it, there's a particular story that inspires this bottle.
It inspires this bottle and the others in its whole series. So there's the JURA Superstition, the JURA Origins, and the JURA Prophecy, all of which are so named because of very interesting legends from the Isle of Jura itself. But my favorite is the story of the Jura Phantom. So our story begins with Laird Archibald Campbell, who banned distilling on the island in 1781.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Yes, it was. It was very unpopular throughout all of that time, and ended up being financially disastrous for a lot of the farmers on the island, who were also the distillers at the time. And all of this is backed up by history. You can go read about this if you want. The important part for our story is that 29 years later, when the Laird Archibald Campbell was asleep in his bed, he awoke to an apparition of an elderly woman standing on his chest and screaming at him. Full of rage, just this terrifying screaming and yelling at him about how there's no whiskey on the island anymore and how dare he, and this is completely unacceptable, and probably how she will destroy him if he doesn't remedy the situation. He was so terrified about this that he reversed his ban the very next day, or as soon as he possibly could. And he actually ended up founding his own distillery a few years later in 1810. This distillery was founded in the Smuggler's Cave in a bay on the edge of the island, and to this day, they always keep bottles of 16-year-old whiskey in the back corners of the cave to appease the angry Jura Phantom. Though this distillery has closed and reopened a few times, it is the same distillery where this bottle of delicious single malt is made. The Isle of Jura Distillery is the same distillery that Laird Archibald opened to appease this...
the mad screaming lady ghost.
An old woman after mine own heart. There's tons and tons of stories from all over the world about a ghost who haunts a distillery. Most distillery ghost stories aren't actually all that interesting. They're just, there's a ghost here, they show up at this time of day. They look like this, and there's not really much going on. But there's one story I have about a ghost that's associated with 2 different distilleries and is actually supposed to be a real person. The story starts with Glen Grant. The distillery Glen Grant was founded by an actual person who was also called Glen Grant. He was a high-ranking officer in the British military, and he had adopted a couple of orphaned children while he was on campaign in Africa. One of them, Biwa Makalaga, ended up working at his father's distillery for the rest of his life. Biwa went by Byway most of the time, and most of the time you hear this story, you'll hear him referred to that way. A few years after he had died, there was some construction going on across the street from Glen Grant Distillery at GLENROTHS. They were putting in 2 new stills, and the construction workers started reporting that there was a very, very angry ghost of an angry black man who no one could hear, yelling at people, waving his arms around, and as if he was trying to stop the construction from happening. People were spooked, obviously, but nobody recognized this ghost. Nobody knew why this was happening. So they brought in a university professor named Cedric Wilson, who looked through old pictures and papers from around the time and, I guess, industry information, and recognized Biwa Makalaga as the adopted son of Glen Grant, knew exactly who he was. He did what I suppose makes sense, and went to his grave at night. He returned and said, "Hey, so here's what I found out. He told me that you guys in your construction where you've put the stills is disturbing the ley line. And he said it's causing problems for the spirits, both ghosts, and it'll be a problem for the spirits you're trying to make as well. He said you've got to move the stills here and get them out of the way, and then everything will be fine." The crew at GLENROTHS did everything that they were asked, and there were no more reports of ghosts, and honestly, GLENROTHS tastes amazing to this day. It seems like they've done something right. Even to this day, distillery tours at the GLENROTHS distillery offer a toast to the ghost. They usually use GLENROTHS, but Glen Grant would also be very appropriate for that purpose, since that's where he spent all of his whiskey-making career.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed learning about a few of our favorite spirits associated with our favorite spirits.
And thanks, Whiskey Wizard, for letting a student witch teach a segment.
Well, very special thanks to Cameron and Lauren for that. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Fantastic. So, I only reserve this demonstration of my wizard's powers for such occasions. This is Douglas Dunbar, the Whiskey Wizard for the Whiskey Roundtable. Happy Halloween, and... And now, back to the live show.
Shadows from my past, they follow me. Might disappear, but come back. I try to forget, try to be myself, but I've got these demons, they're all around me. I try to run and hide, they still find me. They are like zombies walking around in my mind. No matter how hard I try, I still got these demons, demons, demons. I still got these demons, demons, demons. Feels like a black cat walking in my path. Every time I look back, it's there, creeping over my shoulder. And I don't wanna live in a graveyard with these demons. They're all around me. not just on a full moon. If the hunting won't stop, I might as well start building my own tomb. 'Cause I've got these demons, they're all around me. I try to run and hide, they still find me. They are like zombies walking around in my mind. No matter how hard I try, I still got these demons, demons, demons. I still got these demons, demons, demons. I still got these demons, demons. I still got these demons, demons, demons. I still got these demons, demons, demons. I still got these demons, demons, demons. If whiskey stopped working, every bar in town would be closing their doors, shutting down. Everybody would be trapped with their thoughts, 'cause nothing knows the pain like bourbon or scotch. Oh no, oh no, no. If whiskey stopped working, where the hell would I be? Probably wasting lots of money trying therapy. If whiskey stopped working, what the hell would I do? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be over you. If whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, oh, whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped. Poor Jack D would be out of a job. Jameson and Bean would be cut off. Hank Williams songs wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, this whole damn world would be a mess. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. If whiskey stopped working, where the hell would I be? Probably wasting lots of money trying therapy. If whiskey stopped working, what the hell would I do? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be over you. If whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, oh, whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, oh, whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped, oh. If whiskey stopped working, where the hell would I be? Probably halfway out of this town, leaving Tennessee.